Welcome to Shomach Shava and the Daf Shir Sponsor Nishbas Armiak Shalom Le'abas Yitzchok. We're holding Metzia Daf Pei Gimel. The Gemara in Amud Aleph, in the last few lines of Perek Shishi, Perek Lifnim, brings a story. The Rabbi Chanon, he hired workers to carry a barrel of wine for him, and they caused it to break. So he took away their glimor, their clothing. Rav told him, you should give it back to them. He said, this the din? He says, yes. Look at the pasuk in Mishlei that says, "Leman telech b'derech tovim." You should act in a tovim dik way. So then they said, we're poor, we need money, and please pay us for our work. So Rav told him, go pay. Said Rabbi Chanon, is that the din? He told him, yes, because it says in the pasuk, that same pasuk, "V'orcher tzadikim tishmar." So meaning Rav told Rabbi Chanon that he has to act in a certain way, as the pasuk in Mishlei says, "Leman telech b'derech tovim, v'orcher tzadikim tishmar," and he has to do Lifnim M'Shuras Hadin. Even though it's only Lifnim M'Shuras Hadin, for him it's a din. As many of the Bava Musik point out, and so brings the Chidah over here in the Sefer Marisayin, that Rabbi Chanon, because he's such a great Amoiro, he needs to do Lifnim M'Shuras Hadin. That's the din. The halacha for him is to do Lifnim M'Shuras Hadin. So even though for other people this will not be the din, it'll just be Lifnim M'Shuras Hadin, but for him that is the din. Now, in the first part of the story, when Rav is telling Rabbi Chanon to give back the glimo, he uses the beginning of the pasuk that says, "Leman telech b'derech tovim," and then when he tells him to go pay them, he uses the other part of the pasuk, the next part of the pasuk, "V'orcher tzadikim tishmar." So the Al Sheikh in Pasha Shoftim asks on it. He says, what was a bigger Lifnim M'Shuras Hadin? The fact they gave back their clothing, or that he paid them? Obviously that he paid them. Not only that he didn't take away from them, but he paid them. That's a bigger Lifnim M'Shuras Hadin. So he says the word toiv refers to chesed, to Lifnim M'Shuras Hadin. The word tzaddik refers to do kedin. So l'choros he asks, when he did the first part of giving back the glimo, that should be less Lifnim M'Shuras Hadin. You should use the pasuk, the part of the pasuk that says derech orcher tzadikim tishmar. And when he not only gives it back to them, but also pays them, then you should use the first part that says Leman telech b'derech tovim. And I ain't sure how he answers. But the Vilna Gaon on this pasuk in Mishlei, and the Marsha also says this over here in short. They say the opposite. The Vilna Gaon explains that when it says the words Leman telech b'derech tovim, is someone who does good with others, while a tzaddik is someone who's doing tzaddik mishelcho v'tenloi. He's taking for himself and giving to others. He's not only acting in a nice way with others. And explains the Vilna Gaon, and he says like this: for a person not to cause harm or bad to somebody, even though that other person deserves it, many people act in that nice way. You see in the world, tell somebody, this guy did something wrong, let's go sue him, let's go harm him. He says, no, we're going to leave him alone. That's something that many people can comply with. That's a regular derech tovim that a lot of people go b'derech ha-tovah. But to go ahead and not only harm somebody, but to go and give him, to provide him with good, to support him when he did something wrong, then you need to be a tzaddik. That's a whole new level. And that's why when Rav tells Rabbi Chanon to give back the glimo to these people, meaning not to harm them, don't take away their clothing, he used the beginning of the pasuk, Leman telech b'derech tovim, go on the derech of the tovim, which means be the way most people that want to be tov act. But when he tells them to pay them for their salary, then he uses the next part of the pasuk, v'orcher tzadikim tishmar, to be a tzaddik. Tzaddik mishelcho v'tenloi, that's a much greater milo, and that's something which you could ask only from a tzaddikim to do, to not only not harm somebody else, but to actually give to somebody who harmed you, to provide him with good. The Vilna Gaon adds that this is very meduyuk in the words. Leman telech b'derech tovim. By the tovim it says derech. Derech is a wide way. Many people walk in that way. But orcher tzadikim, a tzaddik walks in a oirach. Oirach is a very narrow way, a narrow path. That only tzaddikim walk there. And that needs shmira, needs a special carefulness. That's what it means, orcher tzadikim tishmor. And to add to this, the famous story of the Chofetz Chaim that went into his house and he saw a thief, a Jewish thief, running away with his candelabra. So Chofetz Chaim runs after him and says, Mochulach, Mochulach. Not only Chofetz Chaim did not come to ask for his Katalava back, but he actually gave it to the Ganov not to be over an Isser Gezel. That's what a Orchat Tzadikim is. Not only not to do harm to somebody else, but to actually give him good to somebody who harmed you. That's Orchat Tzadikim Tishma. Anyone who wants to join the Shomachshava email list to Hotsko, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.